Let's see. Okay, people, we are live. Actually, I don't know how the signal just ended. I am extremely sorry. The flow was all good. Something happened, but we will, of course, we will, continue the flow. Let me send request to ma'am. Uh,
Hi Ashutosh. I don't know what happened just right now. The signal went too low and it ended. Of course we are joining again, and I know that the earlier flow that we had actually ended, but we will make it again. My team is contacting with Madam Shammy Wadud. Sorry, please. Hi Kriti, hi Ashutosh. Yeah, it happens, but it should not happen actually, because you are someone, you have written the script and you see that it is not being performed at its best because of someone else, so it hurts. Just 1 or 2 minutes and the lady will be joining us. Madam Shamiwada, I believe you would have learned a lot in the few minutes that I have had with ma'am. Shamiwada, okay, let me again send her the request. uh, I have sent her. Okay. It's network, we can't. Okay, all right. Sorry, ma'am. I don't know what happened. You're not doing good these days. Uh, where were we actually? Okay, we are talking about farmers and entrepreneurs. Yeah. Oh, ma'am, in your case also, you told that because of food, you had to have cancer. You didn't have any specific cause which was related to your suffering. Am I right? Okay. All right. Let's come again to UNYSAB. Okay. Ma'am, one thing I had this question. When it comes to decision making, where do you think our politicians lack? Like, do they lack in listening the youth, or do they lack in efficiency of making the decision, or what? Okay. All right. Ma'am, because you have been someone who has done a lot of traveling in her life, you have been to India for 2 years, then to Sri Lanka, then to Europe, and so on and so forth. So I wanted to know, what are the points where do you think India really needs to look upon? And I'm not asking about the good things. The question is, because you have been traveled a lot and you have been in India for 2 years, so where do you think India really needs to look upon? And I'm not asking about the good things. Absolutely.
It's actually difficult to say. It's a huge arena, and it's very difficult in one line. Um, in our country, people who are extremely rich, they just want to make money. They don't have that kind of an interest to actually make a difference. And people who are in the middle class and in the poor section, they are struggling with their life so much that they don't have that much of enough space in their mind to think about in a better perspective. So when I see in my country, people are starving and they are literally spending every day hand to mouth, it's difficult for them to think about in a bigger perspective. They will not think about the environment, they will not think about the sustainability, they will not think about in the long run. Because for them, maintaining long-term stuff, it's very expensive. They don't have that kind of opportunity or that kind of monetary background to give a sustainable life. For example, they know that if you buy something in good quality, it will sustain for a long time. You have to replace it in a short time. But they don't have that kind of money to spend for a very good quality product. So they go for like cheap kind of quality, and they need to replace it again and again. So this plastics end up going into the sea. And everybody in this world nowadays, they are worried about the world climate change, because climate change does not understand the body. India, Bangladesh, every country, we have pretty much same kind of climate. We have our people, they litter pretty much everywhere. Very few places are there not like our country. And when we see anything clean, we call it like, no, it's look like a foreign land. History, no. If it's very clean, it cannot be clean. It's difficult.
Ma'am, how you got associated with couch surfing, and of course, your journey towards becoming the brand ambassador of it.
I was traveling to Thailand, and that time, because of some festivals, all the hotels were booked, and somehow I needed to change my flight, and I couldn't find any other flight to come back to Bangladesh. At the same time, there was no hotel, literally no hotel, and I was lost. Then I met somebody. She said that I can go and like stay at her place, and then I was like, she said, I have a couch, come couch surfing with me. So I had no idea what is couch surfing at that time. And she explained, and I joined couch surfing because of her, because I needed to give her a reference. And this is how I became a part of couch surfing. And at that time in Bangladesh, very few people were on couch surfing. Very, very, very few. And after a while, when I had like already multiple references and experience for couchsurfing headquarters, they wanted to expand the ambassador program. And for Bangladesh, there were only 2 people who qualified as an ambassador, because people were very new, and probably they had only 5 references, where I had around like 70 references. So they offered me that whether I want to become an ambassador or not. So if I want to become an ambassador, I need to perform this job. So I already like this community. It's a wonderful community to travel. It's a wonderful community to connect, because these days we are shy to ask for any help. All the time we pretend to be somebody who we are actually not. But on couchsurfing, they are not shy about their reality. If somebody doesn't have a money, they will literally tell you that like, I'm on couchsurfing because I can save a lot of money on my stay and my food, so I can travel more. And they are not afraid. When they send you a couch request, it means they need a place to stay. It's a very beautiful way of traveling, because when you travel to a new country, you don't know anybody, and when you have a couch friend, it means you have a local home, you have local people around you, and a local community. People to travel, they take you to the best places where only the local knows. It's difficult difficult for the tourists to find those places, find those gems in a shorter period of travel. So couchsurfing is very lovely. I love it. Once I went to Delhi, your city where you are now, and I stayed with a couchsurfer, and he became one of my best friends. Whenever I go to Delhi, I stay with him, and I stay with him for like every stay will be a month. You know, I mean, I know I have a home in Delhi. Whenever I go there, I have my separate bedroom. I have pretty much all the amenities. If he's not home, I have the spare key of the house. I have this car. I have this driver. I have traveled with him up to India, and it's beautiful. I've been to his hometown, which is Haryana, and I know his family, his friends. I know his colleagues. I know pretty much everybody about him. So everybody considered me as one of his family members.
That's really wonderful, actually.
I also know him for couchsurfing. And see, I
Yeah, he told us.
Mom, I know his sisters, I know his grandmother, I know his father, I know his auntie, uncle, cousins, and everyone. I've been to his hometown. I've traveled with him to different cities, and he became a part of my life. I mean, I call him bro, he called me sis. So I can't imagine my life without him anymore. I spent holidays with them over Christmas, and it was one of the best experiences I have ever had in my life. It is because of couchsurfing. I was not shy. We connected with our true self. I told him what I need. He told me what he needs. So we were just being ourselves, and we connected with our true self. We didn't have to pretend to be somebody else. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and I think everybody should be on couchsurfing and extend hand to each other.
Absolutely. I will also look after it. Ma'am, what is that one quality that traveling ingrains in you, which no other experience can ingrain in a person?
You will learn to stop judging people. So when we live in a small space, small shell, we think people are like this. But we go to a different corner of the world, you see different culture, different language, different skin, different facial expression. We have different kinds of in India. If you ask somebody any question, they will say like this. So I always get confused, like yes or no. They were like, no, say that yes. So when I travel to India, I try to understand what this person is trying to mean. And see, I know this gesture because I'm Indian. Similarly, when I travel to any Middle East country, people will say anything about India. So see you tomorrow. And so I have a plan with you. So see you tomorrow. They say inshallah, means if Allah wants. So if you don't do anything, then He did not allow you to do it. It's pretty inconvenient, but it doesn't really mean that. Because they just say it in a mistake. Because they're so used to saying inshallah. I'm like, no, you have to say yes or no. You're coming, see you tomorrow, or no, I have to have some other plan. I used to see that women in our religion, they all cover up with burqa and all. So I was wondering why they wear such clothes. And then when I traveled to Qatar, so I was in Doha, and I just went out because I thought it's so hot that I don't want to wear a lot of clothes, and it's very hot. So I just wore shorts and a t-shirt, and I went out. And I experienced the sun. It was literally hitting me on my skin. So I had to come back to my hotel and ask. I had to cover up my body. People wear that kind of a clothes in Middle East because of the weather. It's not only the women; it's also men. They wear like white jubba, and women they wear black. So just to identify the gender, they have two different types of clothes. And everybody is wearing that clothes because they needed to protect themselves from the heat. And I didn't know that. I was constantly judging these people like, oh, they are covering their body, they are so shameful, they want to hide their body and so on. But when I travel to that place, I'm like, I should not judge people now.
All right, ma'am. Coming to your entrepreneurial journey, as far as I know, you are currently the managing director of an India-Bangladesh joint venture. So how this and which is also a part of your entrepreneurial career. So I want to know how it all actually started, how this thought came and it all happened.
So as I said in the earlier conversation that I was a broadcaster, I spent about 10 years in my life working for television channels, and then when I was down with cancer and I was getting treated in India, I was in Chennai. So in Chennai, the language is Tamil, the culture is Tamil. It's so different from Bengali culture. So I have seen a lot of people from my home country getting admitted in the hospital and taking the similar treatment that I was taking. And my life was way better, very easier because I already knew the hospital management, the doctors. So I didn't have to think about anything. Even if at some point, I remember that I didn't have enough cash and I needed to be admitted very urgently. I fell down and I broke my head at the middle of the night. So my mom was rushed with me to the hospital again. And I didn't have enough cash at that time. So the hospital didn't hesitate me to be admitted because they know me. They know I am able to make a payment maybe tomorrow or day after. At the moment, I needed that treatment. So, after that, when people knew that I know the management, my mother is very social. So I was in the hospital bed. She doesn't need to look after me all the time over there because the hospital is designed in a way that nurses will take care of you for all the necessity. And you need an attendant just for their own sake to understand that they are giving you proper medical care. So my mother was traveling from this room to that room and talking to all the patients and their families and trying to find like what kind of support they need. So and then she was like doing my marketing. My daughter, she already knows the management, the doctors. If you need anything, tell me that I'll ask her to talk to the management and get you sorted. So I started helping people because anyway I was lying down in the bed. I didn't have much job to do. So I was happy to help people. And then when I survived cancer, I thought I needed to do something like this in order to help more people because I see people, when your family is not well, you are already lost. You are lost and you need your peace of mind.
Yep.
At that time, you need to look after your monetary stuff. You have to find your accommodation, flights, doctor's appointment, money transfer, and whatnot. It becomes a little difficult. So I've spoken to a lot of friends at that time, and I found my partner, and he's a very good friend of mine. I know him for a very long time. He has experience in this medical care for about 20 years. He's a very experienced person, very well connected, and I thought, yeah, why not? So I started my medical tourism agency, and my company, we provide all these facilities, like we send you visa invitation to booking a flight, to find a proper hotel based on your budget. We ask you the problem of the patient, all the medical documents. We find a doctor for you. We give you a second medical opinion. There are not a lot of people, they can travel all the time with all these financial restrictions. So we give them a second medical opinion that what the doctor is in India or in Singapore or in Thailand, what kind of treatment you need. And treatment they are already taking, whether it is okay or not. If it is okay, they just advise to do something else or probably do it now. So we can give a second medical opinion for their own understanding about what's going on in their health. And so these are all complimentary services. We do not charge anything from the patient because that was my goal. That was something that I wanted to do. And we we get a commission from the, not commission, I would say, it's a sustainability matter because see, I need to have my employees, I need to have an office, I need to maintain my costs. So I have certain costs, and if I don't get it from somewhere, then I will have to charge the patient. So what I do, I have asked the hospital to make a payment for all these expenses. So at some point, I don't have to charge anything from the patient. I can give them complimentary stuff. So as you know, you are in India. In India, your treatment and my treatment will be two different types because I'm an international patient, you are a local patient. So maybe one surgery you can do it in 1 lakh INR, and the same treatment I need to spend around like 1,75,000. 75,000 rupees extra just because I'm an international patient. So anyway, hospital make money from the international patient. So what we made a deal with the hospital and we give a commission from that payment. So we can cover the cost here and our patient.
Okay.
Because even they are not going through me, they are going there. They are spending the same amount. So we are not charging anything. At the same time, because we dedicatedly support Bangladeshi patients, so we have all the interpreters there. If somebody doesn't speak English or Hindi or they need a translator, so we provide translator. We send them car to pick up from their airport. We drop them at the hotel. The next day we pick them up from the hotel. We take them to the hospital. So we actually utilize everything, all the facilities from the hospital.
Yeah.
So we don't have any spare cost, but we are a bridge between the hospital and the patient. Because for the patient, it's not easy to find all the facilities the hospital provides. They don't know. So when they come to us, we know what kind of facilities the hospital can provide. And we know the right person. Sometimes some people doesn't have that money. So they need some support, financial support. So what we do, we ask the hospital to give them some discount. So yeah, it's pretty easy. At the same time, it's a sustainable model because whatever the patient needs, we can provide.
You are actually, I think, as if I say it in one word, you are actually providing an ecosystem for the patients so that everything goes off their head and they can focus on.
Yeah, because when a patient lands in a different city, so in the first day, they don't know which hotel will be near to their hospital. Each hotel has facility. When you are a patient, you have a certain diet restrictions. So you just cannot go to a restaurant and eat whatever the restaurant is cooking for you. So you need diet restriction. So different patient needs different kinds of. Everybody not have a multiple attendant. So you may need a nurse. You don't know where to go and find a nurse. Some people need someone to cook food for them, and they need only Bengali. So we have all this list. We have a number of people in our list that can speak Bengali, can speak Hindi, and either they are from Assam or they are from Kolkata or they're from Bangladesh. So they can provide you Bengali food with the diet that doctor has provided. So if they don't have time, they just can tell us because anyway you are paying the food to the restaurant, but you are not getting the diet. For example, when I was a patient, I had very restricted diet, low carb, no sugar, only olive oil and coconut oil. And it is completely, it's very difficult to find that kind of customized food in the restaurant. So what we did, we knew people and we asked them to cook this kind of food for them. So yeah, they were providing food every day, 3 times a day. So it made my life so much easier that I didn't have to think about food all the time, grocery, this and that. Whatever food I want to eat, I just tell them, I just WhatsApp them, I want to eat that kind of a food tomorrow.
Ma'am, where do you see your startup or your company in your next 10 years? Do you want to expand it to the whole country, or what is your plan actually?
See, our plan is just not to be in India. Our plan is in a global platform. For example, your location is in Delhi and you want to see, you are probably in Thailand, you are in Bangkok, and you want to see a particular specialist, a rheumatologist you want to see, but you don't know a good rheumatologist in Bangkok. So you can go to our website, you can search for, like, you can actually give your input that you have this kind of problems and we want to look for a rheumatologist in Bangkok. So we will ask you like, what is your, are you a Thai citizen or your international patient? So I have an international patient. So you can actually book an appointment from there. So we see a lot of different kind of business. So in India, we get a lot of patients from Middle East. We have a lot of patients from Bangladesh. We have a lot of patients from Europe. We have a lot of patients from Australia. But in Australia, in Europe, they don't come for the general treatment. They come there for cosmetic treatment. Because their country, they provide all kinds of medical facilities except the cosmetic surgeries. Okay? So, but everybody is so after the beautification phase, my nose like this. I want my lips like this. They want to fix their face. They want to fix their body. So, okay, so they get same surgery in India, in Chennai, fraction of the cost. So they take a flight, they come to India, they spend about a month there for their recovery and everything, and then we fly. So our vision is we want to operate globally with all kinds of hospitals, with all kinds of medical facilities. But even just yesterday, I was talking to my partner in India. And these days, what we see, what we call healthcare, is actually a sick care. We only treat the symptom. We don't treat the root cause of the problem.
Absolutely.
So many places in the world, I came across so many doctors, medical care. Only 2 doctors in my life. Fortunately, both of them lives in Chennai, India. One is a neurologist and another one is a medical oncologist. These people only taught me the kind of a problem and their root cause and how to solve that problem. So they give me a short-term treatment to immediately treat that problem, and they educate me with the root cause. The root cause they teach me. So eventually I learn about how my body is working, what is the current condition, and how I reverse it. Unfortunately, many doctors are practicing this. At the same time, it's just not the doctors. Even the patient doesn't want to. They want short-term solution. They want a quick fix. I have a lot of weight. I have a lot of belly fat. They want a quick fix. They want to lose their belly without doing any exercising, without stopping any kinds of. They want to they want to lie down on their bed, but they want a flat stomach. It doesn't work like that.
I don't know what to say at this point of time. Ma'am, one question. Like people like Mukesh Ambani, or if I talk about it, Bangladesh, then Ahmed Akbar Soban, the founder of Basundhara Group. Why do these people, these rich entrepreneurs, people of growth mindsets, why do they not take a lead in the governance of a country?
To answer this question, I will ask you a question. Name one politician that would really.
One politician that would?
Name one politician that you really like and you want all the politicians to be like. Name one politician. Anybody. Just name it.
Okay. I will give you an hypothetical example. Let's take Narendra Modi.
So say Narendra Modi. So he is your role model, and you know that he is taking care of the country. And tomorrow, if some laws passes and he votes for it, and you know that that particular law will help him make his business bigger, how do you react?
Okay.
He has passed this law because his own benefit. It is actually not good for the country. He is just doing it for the sake of his own country. People like Mukesh Ambani or Abdul Sobhan, see, these people are businessmen. They will not come into the politics because it's easy to target the competition. You already know that Mukesh Ambani is a businessman and you will not judge him because of he has money. But in case tomorrow he has very good intention, he comes to the politics and if he do something, he will say he came to the politics because of his own interest. It's very easy to judge people when they're in politics, when they are in the leading role. It's very easy to judge them. But because of their businessmen, they have made it very clear that I will not go to any other stuff. I want to make money. You have accepted the fact. You are okay with it. If people like Mukesh Ambani or Mr. Sobhan, you see, they all have friends and families into politics. Politicians, they also have friends and families who are businessmen. Why is that? It's because it's a win-win situation. A businessman, they need politicians in their business or in their friends and family circle because whenever they face any problem, their politician friends, they will help them to get rid of the problem. And a politician to run a political party, they need money, but they are working for the country all the time. So they need money. So what they do, they don't go and do their own business. Their businessmen friends, they provide money to run the party. So they dedicate their full time for the politics. And when their businessmen friends are in trouble, so their politician friends pay them in favor because they need it. They have given them money. They give money to run their politics. So I'm not saying people are bad. It's a win-win situation. So I am doing whatever I need to do right now. NISA is a voluntary organization. A lot of people ask me why do you spend so much time on a voluntary organization that doesn't make anything. So I answered, means the universe has given me a second chance to live. And I need to give it back to the universe. So who are the leader for tomorrow? The youth. So whatever my experience, whatever my knowledge, I need to transfer this knowledge to the second generation. So I spend a lot of time in my voluntary organization and it's for my own happiness. Then I have other entrepreneurial business. I have money-making business. I have this medical care, which is for the people's good. It is also for my own happiness. So I'm already balanced. I have taken care of my team. I have already taken care of my need. I don't really need to work full time to make money. I'm not a multi-billionaire, but whatever I have, I'm happy with it. So now I am working towards a happy and sustainable life. I don't use much plastic. Once I don't use plastics at all, I don't use much plastics. I try to avoid. So this is like my water bottle. So I have all this sustainable stuff that I can include in my life, and I teach them. If I use plastic and I talk about stop using plastic, I will be able to use. So what I do, I use it and I share my experience why I use it. So in my every conversation, I have some plants around me, but it's just not that because of the conversation I'm speaking in front of you. If you come to my house, plants are everywhere. We love plants. We have plants everywhere. In every room, we have multiple plants. So it's just not that I want to show you to somebody. I want people to become a part of it. So I spend a lot of time in Unisa because it's my own happiness. And if you've given me something, I need to give it back. And if I work towards a better, to build up the youth today, tomorrow, we will have a better world.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what I thought about why they don't come to the politics. They will never come.
Yeah, that was quite a long answer. Ma'am, now we'll be moving to the audience round. Our team has sorted some questions which the audience has for you. We have sorted 3 questions. So the first one is one thing that India should learn from Bangladesh and one thing that Bangladesh should learn from India.
It's a very tricky question. Bangladesh should learn from India how to live a sustainable life. I see in India, people are not much into plastic. They are using all the time reusable stuff. They are moving to steel, copper, pottery stuff. And their diet is actually quite good. Indians, they use certain kinds of food for certain benefits, which Bangladeshi people absolutely do not like. So Bangladeshi people, they live for the taste of the taste of art. They will not eat a healthy food. If you give them a chapati with brown roti, brown atta, they will say it's not tasty. So we will ask, no, it's good for your health. They will say, I know it's good for your health, but I don't like it. I don't like the taste of it. So Bangladeshi people, they need to learn the sustainable life of India. And it's not true for all the Indians. Indian people are also very, very hospitable. But people in Bangladesh, they're genuinely open and they're very, very hospitable. They treat their guests, no matter what country you are from, they treat their guests like a god. And they pretty much give everything for their guests. So if you are a foreigner in Bangladesh, I have a friend in India. He's a Tamil guy, he's a lawyer. So he told me he also traveled a lot of countries and he was also outside. He told me that Bangladesh was the only country in his life where he was treated as a foreigner. So wherever he goes, people think like, he's an Indian. He's not a foreigner. Like, he's not a foreigner. But in Bangladesh was the only country where he was treated as a foreigner. But in
I
India,
got it.
people are also, India is a very big country. India, Bangladesh is probably like size of one state. So it's a state country. People are different states. People are different, so they have different lifestyle. So it's not true for all the states, but I see people in Chennai. They're very welcoming. They're very, very welcoming. They're very helpful. People in the northern part of the country are not that helpful. So in Chennai, people are very well-mannered. They will not tease anybody. But so I have a friend. I was sharing a flat in Chennai with two other girls. They're from Northern India. So I'll say that in Hindi because she told me in Hindi. So she had her sister. She traveled from Bhopal to Chennai. So she reached Chennai around like 3 in the morning, and she was in the train station. And she was very afraid in the beginning before she landed, before she get down to the station. She was very afraid because it's 3 in the morning, it's a new city, she doesn't know anything about the city. So me, that flatmate, so we went to the station to pick her up. So she told me that अगर रात को 3 बजे मैं भोपाल में होती ना तो लोग तो सिर बचाने लगते at 3 in the morning in Chennai, it's normal. At 3 in the morning somebody can reach the station. It's absolutely normal and people do not trigger. So in Chennai, if I am there at 11 p.m. or like 1 in the morning on the road, I'm not afraid of missing it. Chennai is probably the only city, only state, Tamil Nadu is probably the only state in India where women doesn't have to worry about their safety. You can walk anytime, you can pretty much wear anything. Though people doesn't wear anything and everything because of the weather, during the day you cannot wear any short clothes. Though it's very hot, but you need to cover your skin, like I said. My experience in Qatar. So for you have to cover your skin because it gets burned quickly. And it's very humid, so it's not easy to cover your face with makeup and all. The people over there are they're very raw. They're absolutely okay no matter what your skin tone, what your skin color, what your skin texture, how do you look, they don't really care. But if I'm in Delhi, I have to be really careful. How my hair is, what clothes I'm wearing, because everybody's so cautious there. So yeah,
I
it's
see
better.
it every day. Ma'am, this second question is, what is the best and the worst part about being an entrepreneur?
What is the best?
And the worst part about being an entrepreneur?
The best part of being an entrepreneur is you're independent. You don't have to depend on somebody, and you can schedule your own stuff the way you want. I have multiple works, but because I am the president of the organization, so over there I also schedule my events, my program according to my need, and about my business, I can schedule anything, everything, every time. So I don't have to worry about anybody else. I don't have to answer anybody else. Though being an entrepreneur is very difficult, when you work for somebody, you don't have that all the stress. You have someone else to take that stress. But when you're an entrepreneur, you have to take all the stress. But if you know how to handle the stress, it's absolutely fantastic.
Ma'am, what do you want people to remember you as?
I want people to remember me as I am. As Shammy, I'm a human being. I don't need anything else to
Label.
remember. I don't need label. I want people to remember me as the way I am. They need to accept me the way I am. I cannot change my life because somebody else doesn't expect me in this way. I have came across a lot of people. At some point, I thought they are my friends, but they wanted me to be a certain way. But I was not that kind of a person. See, I'm not a person who's gonna wear all the time a lot of makeup and so I'm a very natural person, and I like being natural. If you cannot accept me the way I am, I cannot change myself. I will change myself if I want to be changed.
That is
So yeah,
perhaps the best quality a person should have. Okay, ma'am, this is the last round, takeaway round. Then after this, we'll end up the session. This is the round where we usually ask you three questions. People who wouldn't have been able to listen you for any kind of reason like network or any issue. So this is for them, the takeaway round. All right. So, ma'am, what about books? Do you like reading books?
I love reading books. Yeah.
So if you had to go back to an 18-year-old Shami Wadud, what would be the three books you would recommend her?
Say that. Say that question again. What?
If you had to go back to an 18-year-old Shami Wadud, then what would be the three books you would recommend her?
One book I would advise everybody to read. That is Sapiens. Sapiens is an amazing book. It teaches you how people should be, how we were in the ancient days and the revolution, and we sometimes forget the root of the human being. So we must need to read that book. Another book is I would advise people to read the book of it's a biography of Bill Clinton, being the president of the United States. He has written a biography, and it has all the small details of his life, his journey, and it's a very good book. I have learned so many things. I have learned so many things about life, about the perspective, about people. I forgot to connect with people around me. I used to spend so much time outside of my home that I have almost forgotten what my sister would like to be. I forgot that what my mom likes. But after reading Bill Clinton's book, the biography, I have started appreciating people around me more, and I connected with themselves. And another book I really like, it's Letters to Sam. It's a small book, but it's about a grandfather. So grandfather is an infant, and he wanted to share all his experience to his grandchild. So he was writing letters to his grandchild because he didn't know whether he will be still alive when the grandchild will be grown up enough to communicate, to understand what he wanted to say. So he started writing letters, and eventually, when the child was around 2 years old, he or his family understood that the child was autistic. So then he thought, okay, he's special in his own way, and he will probably never be able to read these letters, what he wanted to tell him. So he started writing even more and sharing pretty much everything. So that book is a combination of all the letters, and I think it's a great way if you want to pass something to somebody else, write a book.
Ma'am, your three biggest learnings from life that had the deepest impact on you.
Three biggest learning. One is connect to my true self and what I really want. I was trying to do many things that society has expected me to do. At some point, I was rebellious that I don't want to be somebody else. I will do only what I like. And that was like a biggest learning of me in my life. And then accepting those things that I cannot change. And in the same line, other thing is change what you can.
Ma'am, the last question is for me actually. What were the points where you thought where you lost me? Actually, this is my personal feedback, which I'm asking to you.
When I lost my
anything that you enjoyed or liked or disliked about this whole conversation. It's for my feedback.
I really enjoyed on talking to you. I think you are a very you are a person that can actually go into someone's very deep. It's just not a very easy conversation. You have the questions you have asked me. Those were designed around my life, and it shows that you have done your research. I don't know how you get all this information, but you have done your research. Maybe you have Googled me, maybe you have read my profile in other places, maybe you have spoken to the people I know, like my maybe, but you have done your research. And then when you asked me the questions, I did not feel that you just wanted to ask the question to ask. I felt that you really wanted it. So I enjoyed my conversation with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a lovely and interesting talking to you. Thank you for being here. And thank you to my pal, Swati, Anmol, Anju, Ashish, Ashutosh, Karthik, for everyone of Team UNYC for organizing this. The most thanks goes to you for being here and for sharing all the life lessons and entrepreneurial lessons basically from me that I personally wanted to listen from you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Bye. Thank you.